Breakfast and brilliant ideas, coffee and conversation, we're serving up that and much more at IBJ Media's events. Join us at an upcoming event and kickstart your day with fresh ideas and new connections. Check out our event lineup and register now at ibj.com/RSVP.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, May 15th, 2026. I'm Alex Braun. Indiana Governor Mike Braun says his team met again with representatives for the Chicago Bears to continue due diligence efforts as the team considers Hammond as a potential site for its new football stadium. The governor gave an update at our Innovate Indiana event in Fort Wayne today.
I never like to get ahead of my skis. I've done a lot of real estate in my 37 years. Those can always go south easily, but this has taken a lot of planning, and I think it's above 50-60% odds, and we'll know within a month.
The Bears are deciding between a site in the Wolf Lake area of Hammond and one in the Chicago suburb of Arlington Heights. Oakland City University said this week that a strategic partnership will allow it to continue operating despite earlier reports that the university would be shutting down. The university confirmed the partnership with the unnamed corporate entity to our partners at WEHT-TV, saying classes will resume this fall. Last month, the Southwest Indiana school said nearly 170 employees could potentially be laid off as it deals with ongoing financial challenges. Fort Wayne-based Foellinger Foundation is using a unique model to help fund the Summer Learning Labs program at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Fort Wayne. The foundation has awarded the organization up to $2 million via a special opportunity grant, which is structured to be repaid through state-funded reimbursements. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front row access you won't want to miss.
Indiana officials on Friday rolled out what they described as a first-in-the-nation Medicaid financing overhaul designed to pressure hospitals to lower commercial health care prices while directing more state and federal money toward rural and lower-cost providers.
The changes, approved by federal regulators early this month, will revamp how Indiana taxes hospitals and distributes supplemental Medicaid payments. At the core of the plan is a new payment structure that ties Medicaid reimbursement increases to providers' average commercial prices, using state dollars to pressure high-cost systems to lower rates over time. Hospitals with lower commercial rates will receive larger Medicaid payment increases under the new structure, while systems with higher prices will receive smaller increases. Governor Mike Braun and top state Medicaid officials framed the effort as part of a broader, ongoing push to address Indiana's high health care costs and rapidly growing Medicaid spending. The Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services approved Indiana's revised hospital assessment fee program on April 28th, with a retroactive effective date of July 1st, 2025, according to Indiana Family and Social Services Administration officials. CMS separately approved the state's new state-directed payment program, which will distribute up to $1.9 billion in supplemental Medicaid payments next year across Indiana hospitals participating in the Healthy Indiana Plan, Hoosier HealthWise, and Hoosier Care Connect. Abriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The South Bend Redevelopment Commission approved a development agreement Thursday committing $4.6 million in city infrastructure funding to support construction of 42 affordable housing units on the city's near west side. The agreement authorizes the city to build roads, sewer, and water utilities on a currently vacant lot that will serve as the foundation for a development by South Bend Heritage Foundation, a local nonprofit that will serve as owner, developer, general contractor, and property manager. The housing project would place permanent supportive housing within steps of the New Day Intake Center, which provides support for people experiencing chronic homelessness. Plainfield-based Duke Energy Indiana broke ground Thursday on 2 combined-cycle natural gas turbines that will make up the new Cayuga Energy Complex in Vermilion County. President Stan Pinniger said plans for the existing coal-fired plant are still being determined.
There is potential that a third party could be interested in purchasing it. So we're undertaking a feasibility study to do all the technical work that would figure out how the 2 plants could run simultaneously.
The new natural gas units are slated to come online in 2029 and 2030, respectively. When operational, they are expected to add 470 megawatts of generating capacity, bringing the site's total output to nearly 1,500 megawatts, enough to power the equivalent of 1.1 million homes in Duke Energy's service area. 500 Festival CEO Dave Neff is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Braun for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.